Oblomov by Ivan Goncharov. Part 1. The Man Who Cannot Rise. Morning light slips quietly into a modest apartment in St. Petersburg. Ilya Ilyich Oblomov lies awake in bed, already thinking, already tired. The day has begun, but only for the world outside his window. Oblomov's eyes follow the slow movement of light on the ceiling. He plans the day in his mind, imagining letters answered and decisions made. Yet his body refuses to follow his thoughts. The room around him tells its own story. Papers lie scattered, books sit unopened, and dust rests peacefully on furniture. Nothing here is urgent, and nothing demands action. A letter has arrived from Oblomov's country estate. It warns of unpaid debts, careless managers, and growing trouble. Oblomov reads it carefully and sighs deeply. The problems are real, and Oblomov understands them well. He promises himself that he will act, organize, and fix everything. Just not today. Zakhar, his aging servant, enters the room with a familiar look of irritation. He has seen this scene every day for years. Oblomov greets him kindly, but does not move. Zakhar complains about the mess, the cold breakfast, and the wasted morning. Oblomov listens patiently, offering gentle excuses. Their routine is as old as their friendship. Visitors arrive one after another, bringing news from the busy city. Each speaks of work, ambition, and progress. Oblomov listens with polite interest. One visitor describes success and constant movement as the only way to live. Oblomov smiles and agrees with every word, yet he remains exactly where he is. Another visitor warns him about his estate and urges immediate action. Oblomov nods, already forming plans in his mind. The plans stay safely inside his thoughts. At last, the visitors leave, and silence returns. The room feels heavier, slower, almost relieved. Oblomov exhales and sinks deeper into his pillows. As the noise fades, Oblomov drifts into a dream. His mind carries him far from the city, back to the gentle fields of Oblomovka. In Oblomovka, time moves slowly and kindly. No one rushes, no one struggles, and nothing truly changes. It is a world built for rest. As a child, Oblomov was protected from effort and difficulty. Others worked so he would not have to. Comfort became his greatest teacher. The dream shows how the past shaped the present. Oblomov learned that stillness felt safe and change felt dangerous. The lesson never left him. Slowly, Oblomov wakes. The dream fades, but its feeling remains. He is back in his room, unchanged. The estate letter lies beside him once more. Its words are waiting, patient and persistent. Oblomov turns his head away. "I'll get up soon," he tells himself sincerely. The promise feels comforting, even hopeful, but it requires no effort, yet. The sun moves across the wall as the day slips by. Time does not stop for Oblomov, even if he stops for it. This part ends with Oblomov still in armchair, full of thoughts, memories, and unrealized potential. His story has not truly begun, but the question is clear. Will it ever move forward? Part 2. The Man Who Might Change. A sharp knock breaks the quiet routine. This visitor does not wait for permission, nor does he lower his voice. Something different has arrived. Andrei Stoltz steps inside, upright, confident, and already in motion. Where Oblomov rests, Stoltz acts. Where Oblomov dreams, Stoltz plans. Stoltz is Oblomov's childhood friend, raised between two worlds, discipline from his father and warmth from his mother. His life moves forward with purpose. Seeing Oblomov still in morning dress shocks Stoltz. He laughs at first, then frowns. "You are wasting your life," he says without cruelty, but without softness. Oblomov explains himself calmly. He speaks of comfort, peace, and the beauty of a quiet life. Stoltz listens, but does not agree. Stoltz challenges Oblomov's excuses one by one. He speaks of responsibility, travel, and becoming useful to others and to oneself. For the first time in a long while, Oblomov feels uneasy. Stoltz's words do not fade away easily. They stay, pressing gently but firmly. Stoltz insists that Oblomov must leave the armchair, the room, and even the city. Change, he says, begins with a single step. Oblomov resists at first, then slowly agrees to try. The word try feels heavy, but also new. With effort and encouragement, Oblomov finally rises from his armchair. The moment is small, but it feels enormous. Stoltz helps Oblomov dress properly, teasing him like a brother. The room looks different when Oblomov stands inside it. Together, they step outside. The city feels loud, fast, and overwhelming. Oblomov clings to Stoltz's steady presence. Stoltz introduces Oblomov to society, to music, conversation, and ideas. Oblomov is tired, but also curious. At one gathering, Oblomov notices a young woman whose calm grace matches his own gentle nature. Her name is Olga. Olga speaks thoughtfully and listens closely. Unlike others, she does not rush Oblomov or judge him. Something stirs inside Oblomov. It is not fear or comfort, but possibility. Stoltz watches with satisfaction. He believes that love might succeed where logic failed. Oblomov begins to imagine a different life, one with purpose, movement, and shared dreams. The effort exhausts him, but he does not retreat immediately. For once, rest feels earned, not endless. This part ends with hope standing beside hesitation. Oblomov has moved, but whether he can keep moving remains uncertain. Part 3. Love, Effort, and Fear. Oblomov begins visiting Olga regularly. Each visit requires effort, preparation, and courage, but he goes anyway. For him, this is already a victory. Olga encourages Oblomov to read, think, and speak about the future. She believes he has great depth, waiting patiently to be awakened. Oblomov feels inspired by her faith in him. He wants to become worthy of her respect and perhaps her love. Together they walk, talk, and share music. Oblomov discovers joy in movement and connection. For a time, Oblomov's old habits loosen their grip. He wakes earlier, dresses carefully, and thinks clearly. But effort has a cost. Oblomov grows tired, not just in body, but in spirit. Change demands more than he expected. Thoughts of responsibility begin to weigh on him. Marriage, work, and duty appear not as dreams, but as burdens. Olga senses his hesitation. She asks him gently about his plans and hopes. Oblomov struggles to answer honestly. He speaks of peace and simplicity, not ambition. Olga listens, but wonders if love alone can sustain a life. Oblomov begins delaying meetings and writing fewer letters. The energy he borrowed slowly returns to sleep. Each delay disappoints Olga more than words ever could. She sees his struggle and his retreat. Stoltz notices the change at once. He warns Oblomov that love requires action, not just feeling. Oblomov agrees in theory. In practice, fear tightens its hold. Comfort whispers louder than hope. One evening, Oblomov admits to himself what he cannot admit aloud. He loves Olga, but cannot live the life she deserves. He writes a letter, slow and painful, explaining his retreat. Each word feels like a goodbye. Olga reads the letter in silence. She understands his honesty, but feels the weight of loss. Their relationship ends without anger. Love fades, not because it was false, but because it required more than Oblomov could give. Oblomov returns to familiar comfort. The bed, the quiet, and the slow days welcome him back. Yet, something has changed forever. Oblomov now knows what he has chosen and what he has lost. This part ends with a painful truth. Love awakened Oblomov's heart, but fear guided his steps back into stillness. Part 4. A Quiet Life Chosen. After leaving Olga behind, Oblomov slowly disappears from busy city life. Invitations go unanswered, and days grow quieter and softer around him. He moves into a smaller, simpler home on the city's edge. The rooms feel safe, warm, and undemanding. Here lives Agafya Matveyevna, a gentle and practical woman who manages the household with steady care. Agafya does not push Oblomov to change. She feeds him, listens to him, and quietly supports his comfort. Oblomov feels no pressure to perform or improve. For the first time in years, he feels truly at ease. Days pass in a pleasant routine. Meals, rest, small conversations. Time flows slowly, without sharp edges. Zakhar remains at Oblomov's side, grumbling as always, yet relieved by the familiar rhythm of life. Oblomov's health improves at first. Regular meals and peace restore his strength, though not his ambition. Without effort or struggle, affection quietly grows between Oblomov and Agafya. It feels natural, like rest after a long day. This love asks for nothing more than presence. Oblomov finds comfort in its simplicity. Stoltz returns and is troubled by what he sees. Oblomov is content, but smaller somehow, as if life has narrowed. Stoltz warns that comfort can become a cage. Oblomov listens politely, without resistance or agreement. Agafya senses Stoltz's judgment and withdraws slightly. She does not argue. She simply continues caring. Oblomov chooses not to choose. He allows life to carry him gently forward without struggle or risk. His world grows smaller, but also calmer. He reads less, dreams less, and rests more. Oblomov marries Agafya quietly. There is no celebration, only routine happiness. They live without plans for greatness. Their days repeat gently, like a lullaby. Oblomov rarely thinks of Olga now. When he does, it feels like remembering a dream. Stoltz visits less often. He knows Oblomov has chosen his path and will not leave it. This part ends with Oblomov at peace. He has escaped struggle, but also possibility. The choice is complete. Part 5. What Remains? Years pass quietly in Oblomov's peaceful home. Seasons change outside the window, but inside, life follows the same gentle rhythm. Oblomov grows heavier and slower. Comfort continues to care for him, but it also weakens him. Agafya watches over him with constant attention. Her love is steady, practical, and patient. Zakhar grows old as well. His complaints soften into habit, and his loyalty never fades. Oblomov rarely leaves the house now. The world beyond the door feels distant and unnecessary. Sometimes memories return of Olga, of youth, of possibilities once imagined. They arrive quietly and leave the same way. There is no bitterness in these memories. Oblomov does not regret his choices. He simply accepts them. One calm afternoon, Oblomov feels especially tired. He lies down to rest, as he has done so many times before. This time, he does not wake again. His passing is quiet, without struggle or fear. Agafya mourns him sincerely. Her grief is silent, deep, and lasting. Zakhar weeps openly. He has lost not just a master, but the shape of his life. Stoltz returns once more. He stands quietly, reflecting on the friend he could never fully save. Stoltz knows that Oblomov valued peace more than achievement, and in his own way, he found it. Life continues for those left behind. The world moves forward, as it always does. Oblomov's story becomes a quiet lesson, not about failure, but about choice. Some lives burn brightly, others glow softly. Each leaves a different mark on the world. The story ends where it began, with rest. Oblomov rests now, free from fear, effort, and expectation. His stillness is complete. Oblomov by Ivan Goncharov. The End of Story.